Hello and welcome to my personal top 40 of 1988. In these videos I take you through my enormous collection of Spotify playlists. I have top 40s from 1970 to 1991, annuals from 1925 to the present day, artist specials, genre specials, themed shows, and many, many more. And many of those playlists become radio shows, and you can hear all those on my Mixcloud channel. And there's a link to today's top 40 of 1988 in the description. There are also links in the description to all the playlists from today. My top 40 of 1988, 88 songs from 1988, which are songs that entered the UK top 40 but didn't make my own personal top 40, and 1988 extras, which are songs that didn't enter the UK top 40, whether they're album tracks, songs from other countries, or they just didn't reach the top 40. But today there's a bonus as well. And that's 1988 dance and hip-hop, which were still relatively new genres at the time, but so exciting. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. In the meantime, let's look at my own personal top 40 of 1988. At number 40, Sade, Paradise, which spent 2 weeks at 29 in June and July of 88. At 39, Erasure, A Little Respect, spent a week at 4 in October of 88. And at 38, Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, spent a week at 8 in December of 1988. At 37, Inner City, Good Life, spent 2 weeks at 4 in January of 89, but it entered the UK top 40 in 1988. Number 36, Duran Duran, I Don't Want Your Love, spent a week at 14 in October of 88. And at 35, S-Express, Superfly Guy, spent a week at 5 in August of 88. At 34, Deacon Blue, Dignity, spent a week at 31 in February of 1988. And at 33, Enya, Orinoco Flow, spent 3 weeks at number 1, straddling October and November of 88. At 32, U2, Angel of Harlem, spent a week at 9 in December of 88. And at 31, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, spent 3 weeks at 24, straddling August and September of 88. Into the top 30. At number 30, Climby Fisher, Love Changes Everything, spent a week at 2 in April of 88. And at 29, Everything But the Girl, I Don't Want to Talk About It, spent 2 weeks at 3, straddling July and August of 88. At 28, George Michael, Kissing a Fool, spent a week at 18 in December of 88. And at 27, Erasure, Ship of Fools, spent a week at 6 in March of 88. At 26, S-Express, Theme from S-Express, spent 2 weeks at number 1 in May of 88. And at 25, Simon Harris, Bass, How Low Can You Go, spent a week at 12 in April of 88. And at 24, Jack and Chill, The Jack That House Built, spent a week at 6 in February of 88. And at 23, Yaz, The Song of the Summer, The Only Way Is Up, spent 5 weeks at number 1, straddling August and September of 88. At 22, Eric B. and Rakim, I Know You Got Soul, spent a week at 13 in March of 88. And at 21, UB40 and Chrissy Hind, Breakfast in Bed, spent a week at 6 in July of 88. Into the top 20. At number 20, Hothouse Flowers, Don't Go, spent 2 weeks at 11, straddling May and June of 88. At 19, Fairground Attraction, Perfect, spent a week at number 1 in May of 88. And at number 18, Deacon Blue, Real Gone Kid, spent a week at 8, straddling November and December of 88. And at 17, Terence Trent D'Arby, or Sananda Maitreya as he is now, Sign Your Name, spent a week at 2 in January of 88. At 16, Morrissey, Suede Head, spent a week at 15 in March of 88. At 15, In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart, spent 2 weeks at 24 in July of 88. And at 14, Robbie Robertson, who sadly passed away recently, Somewhere Down the Crazy River, what a great song, spent a week at 15, straddling August and September of 88. At number 13, The Christians, Harvest for the World, spent a week at 8, straddling November and December of 88. I prefer that to the original Isley Brothers version. Shh. At number 12, Aztec Camera, Somewhere in My Heart, spent a week at 3 in June of 88. And at 11, U2, Desire, spent a week at number 1 in October of 88. Into the top 10. Oh dear, that was awful. Neno Cherry, Buffalo Stand, spent 2 weeks at 3 in January of 89, but it entered the UK top 40 in 88. At number 9, Prefab Sprout, I'm the king of rock and roll. That was awful. Spent 2 weeks at 7, straddling May and June of 88. At number 8, Tanita Tikaram, Twisting My Sobriety. Wow, what a song. Spent a week at 22 in November of 88. And at 7, In Excess, Need You Tonight. Spent a week at 2, straddling November and December of 88. At number 6, Prince, Alphabet Street. Spent a week at 9 in May of 88. At number 5, Cold Cut, featuring Yaz and the Plastic Population. Doctor in the House, spent a week at 6 in March of 88. At number 4, Womack and Womack, Teardrops, How Can You Not Love It? Spent 2 weeks at 3 in September of 88. At number 3, Tracy Chapman, Fast Car. What a year. Spent a week at 5 in July of 88. At number 2, Guns N' Roses, my favourite Guns N' Roses song, Welcome to the Jungle, Baby. Spent a week at 24 in November of 88. And at number 1, what? Bomb the Bass, Beat This. Spent 2 weeks at 2, straddling February and March of 88. On the screen now you can see 88 songs from 1988. So these are songs that also entered the UK Top 40, but didn't make it into my own personal Top 40. Speaking of which, if I were doing the chart today, I would do it differently, obviously. I feel that way every time. So whatever mood you're in, when you do the chart, it's going to be different to weeks from now or months from now. And I did this months ago, as you can see. But I'm not going to change it because the radio show has already been recorded. It's not just personal taste, though. There's another reason why there are some songs that are not in my top 40. And that is because when I record my radio show, I publish it on Mixcloud. And if you have more than 2 or 3 songs by the same artist, they won't let you publish it. So you waste 3 hours doing a show that you cannot put out there. So it's not worth taking the chance. So there are obviously songs I would include, but I can't. And other songs that I would include just because I've changed my mind. So you can see that loads of great songs there that I haven't included. And there are songs in my top 40 that maybe shouldn't be there. But let me know in the comments what you think. What are your favourite songs from 88? What are your top 5 or top 10? You can go as far as 40 if you want to. And your favourite albums, I'd love to know those as well. So, have you had enough time to look at those pages? I certainly hope so. Now, let's take a look at 1988 extras. Now, these are songs that didn't make it into the UK Top 40. They're either album tracks or they just didn't make it into the Top 40, whether they were released or not. And all the numbers I've been giving you today relate to the UK Top 40, obviously. I do painstaking research from every week of the charts in the UK for each of these shows. So I've actually researched every week of the UK charts from 1970 to the end of 1991. And that's where it stops, because after that the music becomes a bit... So, you can tell from this playlist what my favourite artists are or were at the time, what albums I liked at the time. Now there's so many more songs that could be added to this list, because extras is an incomplete list. It can be added to all the time. Top 40 is a closed shop, 88 extras is a closed shop, but this one can be added to. So if you've got any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. You can hear the playlist of this on Spotify, and this one too. This is a little bonus for you. Dance and hip-hop. Now these genres, as I said earlier, were still relatively new, and someone at some point even tried to merge them together, and it was called hip house. Anyway, moving on from that, there's a lot of great songs here, a lot of great acid house tracks, and a lot of great hip-hop tracks. Some of them made the top 40, as you've already heard them in my top 40. Some of them didn't. And so this is just a mix of hip-hop and dance music from 1988. So, there you go. That's all my playlists. They are all available on Spotify. My top 40 of 1988, 88 songs from 1988, 88 extras, and 88 hip-hop and dance. And the radio show of my top 40 is available on Mixcloud. There's a link in the description to that. All my videos live here, so please subscribe, like if you like, and let me know what you think in the comments about 1988 music. I will be back tomorrow with 1989. My top 40 of 1989, 89 songs from 1989, 89 extras, and of course 1989 dance and hip hop. Until then, have the loveliest of days. Bye bye.